In Washington, House Speaker Mike Johnson has advised Republican lawmakers to avoid town hall meetings, which have been inundated with protesters criticizing the Trump administration's significant cuts to federal government programs. This move echoes President Donald Trump's assertions that these demonstrations are driven by professional protesters. Johnson's recommendation came as GOP lawmakers struggled to justify the drastic cuts, led by billionaire Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, which have resulted in sudden job losses for federal workers across the nation. Meanwhile, Democrats are seizing the opportunity to highlight the situation. "We've seen this movie before," Johnson stated at a news conference, referring to past instances of organized protests. He added, "They're professional protesters, so why would we give them a forum to do that right now?" Johnson's comments echoed President Trump's social media post claiming that paid troublemakers are attending GOP town halls. In response, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries countered, "We don't need paid protesters. The American people are with us." Republicans find themselves in an unusual position of defending the deep budget cuts they have long campaigned for but rarely achieve, as these reductions impact federal programs and services relied upon by their constituents. The Trump administration, along with Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, has terminated tens of thousands of federal workers in a bid to eliminate what they deem waste, fraud, and abuse. This rapid pace of change is something Republicans in Congress could only dream of when they gained control of the White House, House, and Senate. Republicans are feeling the pressure back home. For example, Republican Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas faced spirited residents questioning him about the firing of veterans from the federal workforce. Marshall echoed claims of paid protesters, posting, "Can confirm," alongside Trump's comment. The scenes at the town halls are reminiscent of past protests, such as those during the Obama-era healthcare debates and the George W. Bush-era protests against proposed Social Security changes. More recently, they resemble the Trump-era protests of 2017 and 2018, when Republicans attempted to repeal Obamacare and approve sweeping GOP tax cuts, leading to Democrats reclaiming control of the U.S. House in the midterm elections. To protect his slim majority, Speaker Johnson advised lawmakers to choose alternative forums, such as smaller community gatherings or telephone town halls, to engage with voters. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer criticized this approach, stating, "They're running away from the people because they know how badly people have been hurt by what they're doing." Representative Greg Casar from Texas, chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, commented on the situation. "Many House Republicans have to decide whether they want to fulfill their role as representatives or act as employees of Elon Musk." As Trump and Musk push through their changes in the federal government, Republican leaders aim to further enshrine reductions and changes to Medicaid, food stamps, and other programs into law as part of the budget process. They hope to achieve $2 trillion in cuts to help finance $4.05 trillion in tax breaks. Outside groups like Indivisible are organizing nationwide demonstrations as voters opposed to the president's agenda seek ways to express their discontent. Rank-and-file Republicans are struggling to keep pace with the onslaught. When asked about their message to fired federal workers, GOP lawmakers have not always had a ready response. Senator Marshall remarked, "No pain, no gain," explaining that voters understand the need for changes due to the nearly $2 trillion deficit. He added, "I think a lot of people understand that there's going to be some short-term pain for the opportunity for long-term gain." Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming expressed support for Musk and his team, but acknowledged feeling sympathy for those losing their jobs. Her message to fired workers was to consider other Americans also struggling. "We have too much government." Republican Senator Rick Scott stated, "That's what President Trump got elected to do." When asked about his message to those out of work, he said he would do everything possible to assist them. Representative Steve Womack of Arkansas supported Musk's Department of Government Efficiency as a concept, but advised caution in its implementation. His advice to fired workers was simply to be patient. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas acknowledged the importance of government funding in specific areas like cancer research, but praised Musk's leadership. "It has been refreshing, it has been desperately needed, and I am cheering him on each and every day."